What is tithing? The word tithe means a tenth part and has generally been understood as a tenth of one's possessions or monetary gains. So paying tithing usually refers to the act of giving 1/10 of one's income to some religious cause or institution. The book of Genesis records the first instance of biblical tithing where Abraham gave tithes to Melchizedek, the king of Salem. Later, Old Testament texts show that tithes were used to sustain priests and Levites and to help build and maintain the temple and its rituals. The prophet Malachi records a rebuke from the Lord for the people's refusal to pay their tithes. However, for those who obeyed this commandment, the Lord promised that He would open the windows of heaven and pour out blessings upon them, even more than they would be able to receive. Mormon scripture reiterates the law of tithing. In a revelation received by Joseph Smith, tithing was defined as donating 1/10 of all one's interest annually. The same revelation states that tithing would be a standing law unto them forever. Current church teachings define tithing as, quote, the donation of 1/10 of one's income to God's church. Interest is understood to mean income. All members who have income should pay tithing. There were periods in the history of the Mormon Church where some or even many members did not pay their tithing. In the late 1800s, a financial crisis struck in the United States called the Panic of 1893. Before this event, the LDS Church had taken out a loan from a San Francisco bank. The Mormon Church had its own banks. When the Panic of 1893 hit, people made a run on the banks of the U.S. and withdrew their funds. This meant that the church no longer had the funds to pay back its loan. Heber J. Grant, a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, went to New York City and secured a loan from an individual named John Claflin. The church was able to meet the minimum payment on their loan and saved their own banks. However, the church was still struggling financially. In 1899, the president of the Mormon Church, Lorenzo Snow, asked members to recommit themselves to paying a full tithe. By 1901, half of the Mormon Church's debt was paid by tithing. By 1907, the church was solvent again. Who controls the use of tithes? Tithes in the church are overseen by the Council on the Disposition of Funds, which comprises a group of church leaders, the First Presidency, the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, and the presiding bishopric. Are poor members of the church required to pay tithes? All members of the church who have income are expected to pay tithing. Mormons believe paying tithing is about faith and sacrifice, not money. Recently, Russell M. Nelson, the current president of the church, told of an experience when he was young and earned a measly $15 a month. It wasn't until his wife insisted that he began to pay $1.50 in tithing each month. He stated,
"Was the church any different because we increased our tithing? Of course not. However, becoming a full tithe payer changed me. That's when I learned that paying tithing is all about faith, not money. As a full tithe payer, the windows of heaven began to open for me. I attribute several subsequent professional opportunities to our faithful payment of tithes. Paying tithing requires faith, and it also builds faith in God and His Son, Jesus Christ."
Although tithing may require significant sacrifices for some members, they focus on the associated blessings, namely, that the windows of heaven will be opened unto them. Bishops and branch presidents who are charged with the temporal well-being of the members of their congregations work to assure that families who are in financial need are taken care of. The church provides for the poor and needy through various means, one of which is called fast offerings. Fast offerings are given by members once a month. They fast or refrain from eating for at least 2 meals each month and give the monetary value of those meals to their local congregation. If they have the means, they are asked to be more generous with their fast offerings. These funds are used to bless the lives of those in need. Please like and subscribe. And for an objective look at more topics on Mormonism, visit MormonismExplained.org. Thanks for watching.